We don't spend enough time for educate our citizens then. No matter the trauma we our people then go through when they get such attack, they must narrate to the viewers, because most of these messages they make and for cry out and for tell their story for which way it happened. They must talk the location, they must give the time, and they must explain who committed this atrocity. They must gather evidence, because we know say Cameroon they always commit this type of atrocity, but they must put perspective in these videos. But the lack of this perspective in this narrative where the person will record this video again, it tell a lot about the shock we will be inside. This action be carried out by Cameroon military. Be carried out by Cameroon military. There might be some Cameroon military inside if the investigation is going on, but we are sure that it was not carried out by Cameroon military. This is Ambazonians killing our own people because of a tribal problem. We are very happy to see that the Presbyterian Church have come out to really explain what was happening. And I'll put it into perspective. But for the people who died, let us speak about the truth of what happened. And then we'll move on to put it in perspective. As you know very well, the Presbyterian Church have put out a statement that details the problem we have had here. It's all about two groups of people, Elite people and the Masanga or Core people. These two villages have been fighting over a Fambe is an area where the soil is very, very fertile. A Fambe area is a valley type of area, a very huge land there that is very fertile for cultivation. And this land, this tribal problem have been adjudicated already. It is on the record, undisputed, that this farmland belongs to the Masanga Eko people. But because in Elite village, the people want to farm there, and they don't want the people of Masanga Eko to farm in this land, they have been having problems. I'll get to you to know how these problems, these tribal problems that have died down for a long time, have been rejuvenated across Amazonia, and who is behind these things all. So the people went there. They had actually been attacked before. Previously, they tried to stop them from working farm in their land. They resisted. It led to fight between the two villages. One sub-chief was killed at one point, and his body wrapped into a bag and dumped in a valley. That is when we first came into the scene, and our leadership, we tried to talk to the villagers and talk to them, find out what is going on, and to try to protect this thing before it really escalated to what it has become today. And because the people from Elite village, who have more Amazonian fighters in that area, were fighting for this land, they seek the Amazonian fighters their help. The whole issue was generated and provoked by the Cameroon military, who seeks to hold a stronghold in this area. Kwakwa area is one of the first areas that the ADF had a big camp there. It was also an area where Sokadef was strongly established. We had strong Amazonian control over this area. La Republic had no way to penetrate. In Mavas area there, the youth, after the coming of the whole IG concept, they just abandoned the structure of the military wings of the Sokadef and the ADF, and most of them went under the IG. And the IG provided no guidance, no political leadership over this group. So they are basically on their own. Very fine men who are lost because they have no political control. We have also had a video played by the IG care by soldiers who come from this area. They have shown some video that they are soldiers, they have bought them weapons. So the IG is definitely involved in those soldiers, their life. And I think because of lack of strong command and control and political ideology, the boys are susceptible to be manipulated and used in these tribal attacks. So this thing have nothing to do surfacely with La Republic and Amazonia. It's a tribal problem. As the Presbyterian Church have rightly said, it is a tribal problem. But the Cameroon government have sought to establish itself and have exploited this problem to cause our people to slaughter each other and justify their presence. So this attack took place. I'll play the video for you to see. It was a tick for tack. The Oliti people, because they were weaker, the Oliti people were stronger because they have a strong Ambazonian forces base. The ARF is strong there. They have a big force there, the guys in Mavas. And the people in Masanga, Eko, they did not have that presence there. From what we know, the fighting started where strange youths come out from nowhere in Eliti, claiming to be from Eliti, and get villagers beaten up in that area. The people of Eko, Masanga Eko, they now were feeling that they are vulnerable, and then the Cameroon government, they step in and say that we want to help, which has always been their way to operate. They said that we want to help. And the village head there, he went and allowed the Cameroon military to come inside and occupy a hospital that was abandoned. Because of that presence of that Cameroon military there, the chief of that village now was seen as an enemy by the forces who are in Eliti. That chief was eventually executed. So Cameroon government have been manipulating these people using false flag attack, using her own paid agents to justify their presence there and get sympathy. It has degenerated in this issue where the people in Eliti, the elites there, because they can no longer go and farm in the farm area, the Ufambe area, because the Cameroon military now was backing the people of Eko village and stopping the people from in Eliti to farm in that area. Then the people now in Eliti, the elites there who could not farm, they gather money, raise money, went and hire people from Nigeria, even hire people according to our sources. We are still investigating, but we now know that some Amazonian forces in Ebekwa will also receive money to join that fight. And likely, the commander who is called Fear No Bullet was likely involved. We have to be very frank with our people for justice's sake, because we cannot see our people dead like that and we play games. So this is what we know, that likely these Amazonian forces were also hired by the elites in Eliti to go and attack the village of Masanga Eko so that they will continue to have access to their land. This is how these boys were deceived and used to commit this atrocity. So you have a group of elites who have been fooled and challenged. Who knows, Cameroon military might have even been the people who went and paid Ambazonians to come and attack their own village. Because in our history, we have never seen Ambazonian carrying out such atrocity against our own people. We have never seen this type of phenomenon in the history of our territory. So we definitely know the newcomer, the new person who can inject this type of venom. This is a funeral that was attacked.
Yeah, this is a village vigilante.
So this vigilante that you see here are the product of the Cameroon military that have entered into Efambe, that area there. The Cameroon military have come in there now and tell the people of Eko that they will protect them and start training vigilante, telling them that this vigilante is to fight the Ambazonians, that the people in Eliti are having Ambazonian forces help. So they also have to have their own force. We have tried and tried to reach out and de-escalate this situation. But they were engineering people, provoking each other to fight and slaughter each other, to justify their presence and to use it to blackmail us. That look, see Ambazonian killing themselves. It's very sad. But the greatest ingredient that has helped La Republique to succeed in manipulating our people to kill themselves is the lack of political leadership. If the other factions that have loyalty of these forces were involved in this thing, they could have told their forces never to engage in this type of actions, or will wisen them up to the manipulation that was going on by La Republique. We have seen the same thing across Ambazonia. So 30 people were slaughtered. I cannot even show the images because children will watch.
I couldn't